Good day, everyone. I am JESSA RONLES, and I am with
BSBAII ROSALES, and we are from BSBAII-MARKETING Management Section 2.
and we are here to discuss the Rizal's voyage in Japan. Life and work of Dr. Jose P. Rizal, Chapter 13, Rizal in Japan. One of the happiest interludes in the life of Rizal was his visit to the delightful land of the cherry blossom for 1 month and a half. He was enchanted by the natural beauties of Japan, the charming manners of the Japanese people, and the picturesque shrine. Moreover, he fell in love with the Japanese beauty, Osei-san, whose loveliness infused joy and romance in his sorrowing heart. Fate, however, cut short his happy days in Japan. He had to sacrifice his own happiness to carry on his work for the redemption of his oppressed people. Rizal arrives in Yokohama. On February 28, 1888, Rizal arrived in Yokohama. Noong February 28, 1888, Sunday morning, dumating si Rizal sa Yokohama. He registered at hotel. The next day, he proceeded to Tokyo and registered at Tokyo Hotel, where he stayed from March 2 to 7. He was impressed by the city of Tokyo. He wrote to Professor Blumentritt. Sabi niya sa sulat, mas mahal pala sa Tokyo kaysa sa Paris. Ang mga pader nila ay ginawa at itanayo sa makaluma na paraan, at ang mga lansangan ay malaki at malawak. Ito ang sabi ni Rizal sa sulat kay Professor Blumentritt. Rizal in Tokyo. Shortly after Rizal's arrived in Tokyo, he was visited at his hotel by Juan Perez Caballero, Secretary of the Spanish Legation. Si Juan Perez Caballero ay sekretarya ng Spanish Legation ay bumisita kay Rizal sa kanyang hotel at inanyayahan na tumira sa Spanish Legation sa Japan. At tinanggap ni Rizal ang pag-anyaya sa dalawang kasunduan. Una, sarili niyang pera ang gagastusin sa araw-araw na gawain at pagkain. At ang pangalawa, wala siyang itatago sa mga Espanyol. On March 7, Rizal checked out of Tokyo Hotel and lived at the Spanish Legation. He and Perez Caballero became good friends. In a letter to Blumentritt, he described this Spanish diplomat as a young, fine, and excellent writer, and an able diplomat who had traveled much. Idinescribe ni Rizal si Blumentritt bilang isang batang-bata at magaling na manunulat at may kakayahang maglakbay saan mang ito magpunta. Noong nilisan ni Rizal ang Tokyo Hotel at nanirahan sa Spanish Legation, nagustuhan ni Rizal ang Japan at ang mga bagay na nakapagpamangha sa kanya ay ang una, ang kagandahan ng Japan, ang mga bulaklak at mga bundok, mga kalsada at mga tanawin. Ikalawa, ang kalinisan at kagandahang asal at industriya ng mga Japanese. Ikatlo, ang kaakit-akit na damit at simpleng pag-aalaga ng mga kababaihang Japanese. Ikaapat, halos walang mga mandurugas. Ang mga bahay daw doon ay palaging bukas mapaaraw man o gabi. At sa kwarto daw ng mga hotel ay ligtas daw mag-iwan ng pera sa loob nito. At ang ikalima, ang mga pulubi ay bihira lang daw makita sa lungsod. At ang kalye daw doon ay di tulad sa Manila at sa iba pang lugar. During his first day in Tokyo, Rizal was embarrassed because he did not know the Japanese language. Noong unang araw daw ni Rizal sa Tokyo ay nahirapang makipag-usap ito sa mga Japanese. Si Rizal ay pinagtatawanan daw dahil sa kanyang pananalita. May iba naman na pinagkakamalan si Rizal na isang Japanese, ngunit wala naman siyang kakayang magsalita sa wikang Hapon. At nang dahil dito, siniwala na ni Rizal na pag-aralan ang wika ng Hapon. At makalipas ang ilang araw, natutunan niya ito. Natutunan niya ang kabuki or Chinese drama at Hudo o Japanese art of self-defense. At nung natapos na niyang pag-aralan ang lahat, bumisita siya sa Mikuro, Nikko, Hakone, Miyoshinita, and the charming villages of Japan. Rizal and the Tokyo musician. One cool afternoon in March 1888, Rizal was promenading in a street of Tokyo near a park. It was a beautiful spring afternoon. There were many people at the park. As he approached the park, Rizal heard the Tokyo band playing a classical work of Strauss. He was impressed by the superb performance of the Western music. He stopped and listened in the rapt attention. The band stopped playing. The musician descended from the bandstand and walked around for a rest. Some began to converse. To Rizal's utter surprise, they were talking in Tagalog. He approached them, inquiring in Tagalog, "Paisano, taga saan po kayo?" They told him they were Filipinos and that the principal instrument in the band were played by Filipinos. Other members of the band were Japanese, but they were playing only the secondary instrument.
However, during Rizal days in Japan, there is one thing which he did not like. At ito nga ang tinatawag nilang rickshaws. Ang rickshaws ay isang uri ng transportasyon ng mga Hapon kung saan ito'y hinihila ng mga kalalakihan. Romance with Oseisan. One spring morning in March 1888, Rizal entered a big store in Yokohama to buy something. This is the one biggest store in that port city which dealt on western goods. Ito ay pagmamay-ari ng isang nagngangalang Usuisan, a former samurai. At that time, a lovely young woman was then at the store. Seeing that she seemed to be a member of the store staff, tinanong siya ni Rizal kung marunong ba siyang magsalita ng English. She replied in the affirmative. In fact, she was very fluent in 3 languages: the Japanese, English, and French language. At dahil sa nalaman ni Rizal was glad to converse with her in English and in French. Matapos niyang mabili ang lahat ng kanyang kailangan, umalis na siya. Rizal was impressed by the girl's cameo-like beauty, charming tenderness, and high intelligence. Ang babaeng tinutukoy ni Rizal ay nagngangalang Seiko Sui, o mas kilala sa tawag na Oseisan. Siya ay anak ng may-ari ng store. Natuto si Oseisan ng English and French from her private tutors. In succeeding days, Rizal made almost daily visits to the Usui store. Rizal and Oseisan became good friends. Oseisan was then 23 years old, and Rizal, the brown-skinned doctor from Manila, was 29 years of age. In due time, their friendship bloomed into romance. The sweet-scented cherry blossoms, the balmy soft breezes, and romantic atmosphere of springtime contributed to amorous relationship. Oseisan loved Rizal with all her heart. Her love was reciprocated by the latter. Because Rizal lonely and homesick in foreign land, Rizal succumbed to siren call of romance. He was but human, endowed by God with emotions that respond normally to feminine charm and beauty. Rizal and Oseisan spent a happy month, visiting old temples and art galleries, walking along the cool meadows in the moonlight, sipping tea in quaint country tea houses, and conversing beneath the lantern-laden branches of cypress trees. Oseisan was more than a hero sweetheart. Being an artist and linguist, she taught Rizal the art of Japanese painting and improved his knowledge of Japanese language and literature. Rizal and Oseisan are both theater addicts. They attended several kabuki plays, such as Sendai Hagi, Manjiro Nakahama, and Chu Shingura. Rizal was deeply moved by the chivalrous spirit of Amagawaya Gihei, a hero of the play Shushingura, so that he painted a scene depicting his heroic death to save the life of the Lord. Ang kagandahan ni Oseisan ang halos bumihag kay Rizal na manatiling manirahan sa Japan at tanggapin ang hanap buhay na inaalok ng mga legasyong Espanyol sa Tokyo. Ngunit mas pinili ni Rizal na paglingkuran ang ating bayang Pilipinas kaysa pakasalan si Oseisan. Rizal's great love for Oseisan is attested by the hero's diary. With this tenderly tragic entry in his own diary, Rizal bade farewell to lovely Oseisan. In Sayonara, Japan, on April 18, 1888, Rizal boarded the Belgium, an English steamer at Yokohama, bound for the United States. He left Japan with a heavy heart, for he would not see Oseisan anymore. One of Rizal's fellow passengers was Tetsuhiro. Siya ay isang Japanese newspaperman na nakulong ng 2 beses dahil sa pagsulat niya ng articles against the government. He did not know any foreign language, so that he could not talk with other passengers. Rizal and Suhiro were advocates of freedom. Magkapatid silang dalawa sa diwa. Dahil pareho silang makabayan, kaaway ng kawalan sa katarungan, pareho din silang nagmamahal sa kapayapaan at ginagamit ang kanilang panulat bilang armas sa pakikipaglaban para sa kapakanan ng kanilang kababayan. At dahil dito, silang dalawa ay naging magkaibigan. Suhiro on Rizal. Suhiro admired Rizal for his kindness and genius. It was Rizal who taught him the Western way. Like Rizal, Suhiro kept a diary of his travels. Noong May 20, 1889, he mentioned how he bade farewell to Rizal in London sa kanyang diary. He was leaving London to sail back to Japan via France. He published his book entitled Deaf Traveler, in which he mentioned of his travel with Dr. Jose Rizal from Yokohama to London via America. The following year, he published his political novel entitled Storm Over the Southern Sea, kung saan mayroong pagkakatulad sa Noli Me Tangere ni Rizal. The hero was named Takayama, which was Ibarra in the Noli. After Rizal's execution on December 30, 1896, which Suhiro mourned deeply, he became prominent in Japan's journalistic and political circles. He grew rich as editor of Shoya Shinbun, and later, he became a member of the Japanese Parliament. Amusing incident during Pacific crossing. Rizal had a wonderful trip to the United States. Nakita at nakilala ni Rizal dito si Mrs. Emma Jackson kasama ang kanyang mga anak. Isa sa anak ni Mrs. Jackson na lalaki ang lumapit kay Rizal. He asked, "Do you know a man in Manila named Rizal?" He wrote a novel entitled Noli. At sinagot naman ito ni Rizal, "Yes, I'm Rizal." And because of what he discovered, the boy was delighted and told her mother about his discovery. Both mother and boy were happy to know Rizal and felt proud to be with such a celebrity. And that's the end Rizal's voyage in Japan.